Swarmachines by the CCRU. From CCRU's Abstract Culture Swarm Number 1. This text from ccru.net. The Situationists. Neither individuals nor groups. Neither remembered nor expected. Photonic hypercapital digitizes eschatology. Lost futures are formatted for web-based artificial memory trading. All exclusive definition is banked at light speed. Cryonic mummification into undead spectacle. Real subsumption into the media. Via economics. How do situational vectors cross World War IV? All code processes military maneuver. Constrictions and escapes. Intelligence collection. Disinformation. Mapping. Virus. Truth and falsity are derivative factors, and strictly technical, in relation to the primary and secondary features of alignment and orientation, strategic power consolidation, tactical melting into the jungle. Cut out romantic revolutionism, and it leaves dark events, auto-propagated happenings, assembly lines taken below visibility and switched to intensity production, imperceptible mutations. Paris in Flames, 1996. This time is not revolution, but war. Not a matter of long hours or exam papers, but the rise of a Euro-fascist culture fueled by nostalgic lamentations for the destiny of man, especially the white man, the one with the face. Is it who, or what, are the situationists? The trauma of exclusions and inclusions was always a spectacular distraction. Only multiplicities, decolonized ants, swarms without strategies, insectoid freeways burrowed through the screens of spectacular time. They have neither history nor its end, neither memory nor apocalypse, neither accidents nor plans, no lines, no points, no infinite loops, no forward plans and no spontaneous combustion, but careful engineerings, out of sight, out of mind. Imperceptible mutations, waiting in the wings, just off stage. The politicians called them revolutionaries, made them persons, with faces and names, coded these meshes of contagious matters into acceptable human forms. But they were always tactical machines, natives of the future hacking into the past, trading places, swapping codes, endless replications of micro-situations engineered without sources or ends. Flocks are always flying into the faces, hives of activity behind the screens. They have been making situations, as opposed to passively recognizing them in academic or other separate terms. All this time, and you thought it was done. That is a matter of legacy, inheritance, something passed down with the rest of the past. That we were gathered here today to hear the reading of the will. Baudrillard marks a transition to social circuitries nostalgically describable as fully alienated. The arrival of integrated man, white clown face, body carbon cell dated, brand building rhetoric, egg-laying machines in the studio walls, trading places, swapping codes, endless replications of micro-situational engineering, soft machine buzz and slogan contagion, cities synthesizing inhuman desires, psychogeography escapes the concentrational talking head line, chattering classifications, and becomes something else. 1996, Paris in Flames. Revolution has gone K-space native, become darker. No demands, no hints of strategy, no logic, no hopes, no end. It's politics on TV again, but out in the jungle, it's war. Accumulated stock footage backs up speculative Euro identity. The foreseeable future is locked into perpetual rerun. All the regulators are in the media business. They think nothing's happening if it hasn't been screened first. End of the line Euro tunnel vision is locked under the rearview mirror. Paris metropolitics is a protection racket. Paranoid Francophonia lapses into necrospective auto-mummification as a panic bid to keep things regular. Eurocontinents. Retroactive cultural cleansing is too late. The bugs are already in the system. Dead white metaphysics keeps asking the wrong question. What does it mean? While the machines get on with working, linguistic integrity is a thing of the past, and vernacular cybernetics signifies nothing. Politics is spectacular failure, and the spectacle is all that's keeping politics alive. Things aren't happening in the field of vision, but are following on a blind, mute, deterritorialized socius. The impersonal is apolitical. Telecommercialized nomadic multiplicity aborts nascent Euro-unity. There's no such thing as a single market. Out in the jungle, you can't see much. Dark continent invasion into white man's perspective. The colonizers discover, too late, that darkness has no heart. A-centered predator decapitalization ruthlessly eats out the middle, lights going out all over Europe as peripheral activity cuts to the static power lines of the rotten core. The core master class. Relic anthropoid superstrata. Condemn Hitler even in private, whilst applauded as first grand wizard meat puppet of electro-corporate old Occident power. He can't be forgiven for blowing EU1. It has taken 40 years to repair the damage, armed with nothing but normal fascism, normal commerce control, normal crisis police methods, and decaying Jesus video, whilst K-Jungle spreads across delocalizing periphery, teaching itself to escape. Core Command has spent 4 decades ripping out high-level wetware nodes and replacing them with electro-textured monophylla, preparations for a direct pact between logic-slaved AI and collapsed star capital densities, real-time apocalypse simulation screening locked down to EU2, post-carbon dreams of crushing gravity waves. Everything contracts. Do you really think SF Capital lets Monkey Flake make decisions it classifies as important? There is no doubt anywhere that matters. Simply facts. Debate is idiot distraction. Humanity is fucked. Real machines never closed up inside an architecture. Schizo-capital fission consists of vectors dividing between 2 non-communicating phyla of non-personal multiplicity. First, pyramid control structures. White clown pixel face. Concentrational social segments. EU2 integrated history horizon. Second, jungle war machines. Darkening touch densities, cultural distribution thresholds. Intensive now variation flatten out into ungeometrized periphery. No community, no dialectics, no plans for an alternative state. Jungle antagonistically tracks metrophage across a dead TV sky of its global central intelligence program. 1-1500. Leviathan. Command Core, Northern Mediterranean. Target Area, Americas. Mode, Mercantile. Epidemic Opportunism. Selective Intervention, Colonial Settlement. 2-1756. Capital. Command Core, Britain. Target Areas, Americas, South Asia. Mode, Thermo-Industrial. Imperial Control. 3-1884. Spectacle. Command Core, USA, Germany. Target Areas, Africa, Russia. Nodal Periphery. Mode, Electro-Corporate. Cultural Overcoding, Selective Extermination. 4-1948. Videodrome. Command Core, USA. Target Areas, Expanded, Nodal Periphery. Mode, Infosatalytic Supercorporate. Cultural Programming, General Extermination. 5-1980. Cyberspace. Command Core, USA, Japan, Germany. Target Areas, Totalized Extrametropolitan Space. Mode, AI Hypercorporate. Gross Neurocontrol. Intermittent Media Format Exemplary Extermination. Virtual Biocide. 6-1996. Babylon. USA, EU2, China. meta-local command centers, totalized planetary space, photonic net hypercapital neo-organic, neuroprogramming, AI, capital, media, military fusion, constant entertainment extermination process. Voodoo is the only coherently functional contemporary mapping practice. Zombie production systems, lowatronic traffic jamming, rhythmic decoding tactics, interlinking the units of distributional collectivities with absim waves and becoming snake simultaneities. Agitational micro-nomad cultures melted across the black body heat. Not remotely alien, it never came from this place. Increased current. Urban shockout short circuits Alphaville Eurobotics. Jacking up non-organic intersentience. Fluxing markets with riot swarm techniques racing out of its face. Ill communication scrambling conspiracy paranoia. The medium is a mess. The message is coded Afrofuturist in digital-based matter. No longer an epiphenomenal head case. The body escapes limb by limb from European organization. Jungle functions as a particle accelerator. Seismic base frequencies engineering a cellular drone, which immerses the body in intensity at the molecular level. The neurotic Cartesian body of evidence, with its head-up, top-down control center, is precipitated into a Brownian motion of decentralization and disorganization. Big up your chest, win up your waist. Your self-esteem as its reactor core melts down. Jungle Technic severs the cerebral cortex from their spinal columns of support and cuts copyright adrift from its feudal docking station. Libraries burning in Babylon. Knowledge is decoded from its proprietary grid of occult encryption. The Academy in flames. Possessed personal information transmutes into dispossessed impersonal data, sampled, stretched, and layered into freeware. Jungle rewinds and reloads conventional time into silicon blips of speed and slowness that combust the slag heaps of historical carbon dating. The past is past, left behind in a museum case of Oedipal mummies, belching dust and warnings of revolutionary heritage. The eternally deferred eschatologies of the left are consigned to the white trash can of the future and leave a present tense with synthetic possibilities. Between the vertical of retrospective sedimentation and the horizontal of never-coming contradictory crises, Jungle finds a diagonal that flees the ossified relics of the dialectic. Synthetic rhythms junk progressive linear temporality. Samplers make time for the future. Jungle is a space dislocator, destratifying cities snarled in an arcane surveillance apparatus. An operating system opening an invisible and acephalic matrix traversed by cars geared into basomatic transmissions and orbited by nomadic satellites of clubs, clandestine studios, and the black economies of dub plates and mixed tapes. Don't get into a false sense of security. It's not just music. Jungle is the abstract diagram of planetary inhuman becoming. Dread out of control, a post-spectacular immersive tactility that no humanist vision can put you in touch with. Smiling Californian cyber-optimism is as grotesquely archaic as scowling Aryan Euro-pessimism. What happened? Events happened in their own time. Insect becoming swarming out of human history. Carbon dating rescales them in anthropomorphic terms, arranging them in good order. Historical staging swallowed by machinic phase change. Nothing runs to plan. The future's already assembled, but not by design. Sub-base materialistic concurrences emerge out of order. It's metrophage rush hour, and you've lost the plot. Organs flicking out into grubby data space. MTV'd on synthetics. Tactics tag tattoo voodoo you. The living jungle, where no one has a name, and to survive is to activate mutant lines, become imperceptible in order to perceive, tracking chromatic gradients of intensity across the condo wastelands. Predator, the space-time of hypercommoditization, is a nomoid zone of mad clusters, where the polis disintegrates into unintelligible webs of swarm machinery, schizophrenic capitalism, cultures without a society, a mutant topology of unanticipated connections, B high velocity, and if you think it's gonna blow, you haven't seen anything yet. Wild style, wasting the interminable punctual history of the scribe orgs. Points failure on the Paris metro. Snow crash. There's no point going on. Just catch a line going wild over to the dark side. Uprooted shapes and sounds merge and rescript, break, and repermutate in the virtual machinery of the sampler, while social fabric warps into localized chaosmosis. Rewind to replicate. Tunneling beneath stationary media, it discovers a cache of cybernating egg stores, pupating insect cities dug out in the underworld. Beneath the tracking of the closed circuits, the history of the white man face will appear in Count Zero voodoo as a temporary dissipator for labyrinthine convergences, science fiction more alien than it ever dreamt. The urban city's a jungle, becoming clandestine in nights of microcultural mutation, becoming zero as machinic assemblages mash up and crossfade, becoming diagonal as markets lock into guerrilla commerce, ever decamping nomad cultures, melting in the heat of the chase, alienated and loving it. Current. Press K for collapse. Maximum slogan density.